What if you were thrown in the trash, tossed out and left to die in a garbage bag? For one dog, this was his insane reality. On March 16, 2011, a worker was about to flip the switch on a trash compactor when he saw something move. He opened a garbage bag, and what he found would shock the entire country. Inside was a pit bull, so skinny you could see every single bone in his body. He'd been thrown down a 19-story garbage chute after months of abuse. But as he was lifted out of the darkness, you could see he wasn't giving up. They named him Patrick because he survived into St. Patrick's Day. For this one dog, the world had been a terrible place, but his life was about to change forever. Introduction. You are not going to believe these stories. They are about animals who faced impossible odds, and what they did next is unbelievable. These are the craziest comebacks from single animals who were treated horribly to entire species that we almost wiped off the planet. In a world that can be negative, watching an animal go from near death to happy is something everyone can feel good about. It shows the incredible bond we have with animals and the insane things that happen when people decide to help. Today, we are counting down some of the most powerful animal stories ever. We'll show you the miracle of a dog who was thrown in a trash compactor but refused to die. We'll see how America's national symbol was saved from extinction by thousands of people. We'll meet a baby hippo who was born too small to survive, but became a global icon of hope. We'll show you a dog who became a real-life superhero in the freezing snow. And we'll watch the unbelievable comeback of a giant of the ocean. These stories are insane, and they might even challenge you. Because happy hearts, as you're about to see, come from the most incredible animal stories. Section 1. The Miracle of Patrick, the dog who was thrown away. Patrick's story starts in the worst place imaginable. When he got to the veterinary hospital, he was barely alive. He weighed only 19 pounds. A dog his size should be 50 pounds. He was so cold, his temperature didn't even show up on a thermometer, and he was too weak to even stand up. The head veterinarian said this wasn't just a few missed meals. This was months of torture. The vet started working immediately, knowing he had almost zero chance of survival. They wrapped him in heating pads and gave him IV fluids and a blood transfusion just to give him a chance to fight. For the first few days, nobody knew if he would make it. But Patrick wasn't giving up, so they refused to give up on him. But then the unthinkable happened. As his story got out, the entire world wanted to save this dog. Donations to pay for his medical bills poured in from all over the globe. The hospital was flooded with toys, blankets, and cards from total strangers. His Facebook page blew up with tens of thousands of fans cheering for him. That love was exactly what he needed. And slowly, miraculously, Patrick started to heal. He started gaining weight, the light came back into his eyes, he took his first steps and learned how to play with toys. Even though a person had done this to him, Patrick learned to trust people again. The hospital administrator, who would later adopt him, said he was a tremendous fighter who loved to climb into people's laps. The person who abandoned him was caught and charged with animal cruelty, but Patrick's story became way bigger than that. It became a symbol of hope and a reason for stronger animal protection laws. He showed the world how resilient a dog can be and what a little bit of compassion can do. After a year of care, Patrick was a completely different dog. He hit a healthy 50 pounds and was the definition of a happy pit bull. He found his forever home with the Scavelli family, the same people who oversaw his insane recovery. He lived a life full of love, sleeping in their bed and cuddling with them. Patrick's journey from a trash bag to a treasured family member is one of the most insane transformations ever. It proves that no life is a lost cause. These stories are insane, and they might even challenge you, because happy hearts, as you're about to see, come from the most incredible animal stories. Section 1. The Miracle of Patrick, the dog who was thrown away. Patrick's story starts in the worst place imaginable. When he got to the veterinary hospital, he was barely alive. He weighed only 19 pounds. A dog his size should be 50 pounds. He was so cold, his temperature didn't even show up on a thermometer, and he was too weak to even stand up. The head veterinarian said this wasn't just a few missed meals, this was months of torture. The vets started working immediately, knowing he had almost zero chance of survival. They wrapped him in heating pads and gave him IV fluids and a blood transfusion, just to give him a chance to fight. For the first few days, nobody knew if he would make it, but Patrick wasn't giving up, so they refused to give up on him. But then, the unthinkable happened. As his story got out, the entire world wanted to save this dog. Donations to pay for his medical bills poured in from all over the globe. The hospital was flooded with toys, blankets, and cards from total strangers. His Facebook page blew up with tens of thousands of fans cheering for him. That love was exactly what he needed. And slowly, miraculously, Patrick started to heal. He started gaining weight, the light came back into his eyes, he took his first steps and learned how to play with toys. Even though a person had done this to him, Patrick learned to trust people again. The hospital administrator, who would later adopt him, said he was a tremendous fighter who loved to climb into people's laps. The person who abandoned him was caught and charged with animal cruelty. But Patrick's story became way bigger than that. It became a symbol of hope and a reason for stronger animal protection laws. He showed the world how resilient a dog can be and what a little bit of compassion can do. After a year of care, Patrick was a completely different dog. He hit a healthy 50 pounds and was the definition of a happy pit bull. He found his forever home with the Scavelli family, the same people who oversaw his insane recovery. He lived a life full of love, sleeping in their bed and cuddling with them. Patrick's journey from a trash bag to a treasured family member is one of the most insane transformations ever. It proves that no life is a lost cause. Section 2. A nation's symbol reborn, the comeback of the bald eagle. From the story of one animal, we now go to an entire species. The bald eagle is America's symbol, but we almost wiped it off the planet forever. This is the comeback of the bald eagle. For hundreds of years, bald eagles were everywhere. But then in the 20th century, their population started to crash. By 1963, there were only 417 nesting pairs left in the lower 48 states. That's it. In the entire country, the symbol of America was about to go extinct. The problem was a chemical called DDT. It was a pesticide used everywhere, and it washed into rivers and got eaten by fish. The eagles then ate the fish, and the DDT built up inside them. It caused a huge problem. It made their eggshells so thin they would just break when the parents sat on them. An entire generation of eagles was gone before they even hatched. The situation was so bad, it kicked off the modern environmental movement. Scientists pointed the finger directly at DDT. So, in a massive moment in history, the US government banned DDT in 1972. 1 year later, the bald eagle was protected under the new Endangered Species Act. This was the turning point. Saving the eagle wasn't one single event. It was decades of work from scientists and the public. With DDT gone, the environment slowly started to heal. People protected the eagles' habitats, and in some places they even raised eagles and released them into the wild to grow the population. The recovery was slow, but it was working. Year after year, the numbers went up. By the mid-90s, there were over 5,000 nesting pairs. In 1995, the eagle was upgraded from endangered to just threatened. And the after picture today is mind-blowing. A 2021 report showed the eagle population has exploded to 316,700 eagles with over 71,400 nesting pairs. From the edge of extinction, the population multiplied hundreds of times over. The 2024 breeding season in Arizona broke records, and a 2024 survey in Ohio found 841 nests. The bald eagle was officially taken off the endangered species list in 2007. It's one of the biggest conservation success stories ever. When you see a bald eagle today, you're looking at a symbol of hope. It's living proof that when we work together, we can fix our biggest mistakes. The bald eagle's story proves extinction doesn't have to be the end. Mid-roll CTA. These stories are absolutely insane, right? If you love crazy comebacks like these, do me a favor and smash that subscribe button. It literally takes 1 second and it helps us make more videos just like this one. Don't miss what's next. Now, let's get back to the countdown. Section 3. Fiona the Hippo, the preemie who stole the world's heart. Some stories grab you with a crazy rescue. This one grabs you with pure survival. This is Fiona the Hippo, and she's a global superstar, but she was never supposed to survive. It all started at the Cincinnati Zoo. A hippo named Bibi was pregnant, which was a huge deal. But on January 24th, 2017, she went into labor 6 weeks early. Suddenly, everyone was terrified. Fiona was born dangerously premature. She weighed only 29 pounds. A normal baby hippo weighs between 55 and 120 pounds. She was tiny. She was too weak to stand or eat from her mom. In the wild, she would have died instantly. But Fiona was surrounded by people who refused to give up. The zoo's care team, #Team Fiona, started a 24/7 watch to save her life. It was an insane challenge. They had to milk her mom, Bibi, to get her vital nutrients. A few weeks later, she got so sick she stopped eating and got dehydrated. So the team had to call in experts from a children's hospital to give a baby hippo a life-saving IV. This had likely never been done before. The zoo started posting daily updates on social media, and Fiona became an internet celebrity overnight. Millions of people were watching her every move, celebrating every milestone. On February 5th, she took her first steps, and the internet went crazy. They watched her gain weight, hitting over 655 pounds by her first birthday. Slowly, she was reintroduced to her parents, Bibi and Henry. When the world saw the first picture of the whole hippo family napping together, it was a huge moment. And look at her now. She's not a tiny 29-pound baby anymore. She's a full-grown, multi-thousand-pound healthy hippo and a big sister to her brother Fritz. She beat impossible odds and became a symbol of hope for millions. She proved that even the smallest fighters can become the biggest heroes. Section 4. Kelsey, the Golden Retriever, a guardian angel in the snow. Okay, we've seen people save animals, but what happens when an animal saves a person? This story is crazy. This is the story of a man named Bob and his golden retriever, Kelsey. It was New Year's Eve. Bob went outside to grab a log for his fireplace, wearing only pajamas and slippers. In 1 second, his life changed. He slipped on the ice, fell, and broke his neck. He was completely paralyzed in the freezing cold. He started screaming for help, but his closest neighbor was a 1/4 mile away. No one could hear him. No one except Kelsey. His dog heard his cries and ran to his side, and for the next 20 hours, Kelsey refused to leave him. As the temperature dropped to a freezing 24 degrees, Kelsey laid on top of him, using her body as a blanket to keep him from freezing to death. She licked his face and hands to keep him awake. By morning, Bob had lost his voice. He couldn't scream anymore. He thought he was going to die. But Kelsey did not give up. She started barking and howling for hours, a screeching howl that wouldn't stop. Finally, late the next day, a neighbor heard her cries and came to check. He found Bob unconscious in the snow with Kelsey still right there. Help had finally arrived. Bob was rushed to the hospital with extreme hypothermia. His body temperature was below 70 degrees. The surgeon who operated on him was blunt. I don't think he would be living unless the dog were there. Miraculously, Bob had no frostbite. Why? Because Kelsey kept him warm. After surgery, Bob started his long road to recovery. He calls Kelsey his hero and says she 100% saved his life. Kelsey wasn't just a pet. She was a first responder and a protector. This story is an insane example of loyalty and proof that the greatest heroes sometimes have 4 paws.
Section 5. The Gentle Giant's Return. The Humpback Whale's Comeback. For our last story, we're going from one dog to the biggest comeback of all time, the humpback whale. For centuries, humpback whales were everywhere, but then commercial whaling destroyed them. They were hunted like crazy for their oil and meat. The numbers are shocking. By the 1960s, the global population crashed from hundreds of thousands to as few as 5,000 whales. We destroyed 95% of them. They were almost gone. So, an incredible moment, the world came together and created a global ban on commercial whaling in 1982. This was the ultimate intervention, giving the whales a chance to survive. And the comeback is insane. That population of just 5,000 whales, it's now estimated to be 135,000. The recovery is unbelievable. One specific population in the South Atlantic went from just 450 whales all the way back up to 25,000, which is close to its original pre-whaling size. A population in Australia went from a few hundred to tens of thousands. We actually did it. Many of the world's humpback populations are no longer endangered. This is a massive achievement. It shows that even when a species is on the very edge of extinction, it's not too late. It proves that when the entire world works together, we can make an incredible difference. Hearing a humpback whale song today is hearing the sound of survival. Conclusion. So there you have it. 5 of the most incredible survival stories ever. A dog that survived a trash compactor, an eagle we brought back from extinction, a hippo that refused to die, a dog that became a hero, and a whale that made the biggest comeback in history. Every single one of these stories proves the same thing. They show how resilient life is, how strong the bond between humans and animals can be, and the insane power of compassion. A guy checking a trash bag, a country banning a poison, a team of people working 24/7. In every story, one act of kindness changed everything. These aren't just feel-good stories. They're proof that second chances are real and that you can find hope in the worst situations. The world is full of animals waiting for a second chance. These stories are a reminder to be the person who stops, who helps, who cares. Because when we save an animal, a part of us gets saved too. Thank you for watching. Hope your day is a little bit better. End screen CTA. If you want to see another crazy video, click one on the screen right now. And don't forget to subscribe so you never miss a video. You guys are the best. See ya!